and INC rules. Then data types. After that, SQL commands, TDL, DML, and ECL. ECL. Okay. Yeah, we have seen difference between drop, truncate, and delete. Is that we discussed in the last class. I mean, we defined the relationship yesterday. So we did the practical of these three, right? Okay. So now we won't be discussing that. Well, there are a lot of permissions for each and every database object. Now, coming to the part Excel, like what all concepts we discuss in Excel, just tell me that. What all concepts we discussed? Formatting. Okay. Functions. Pivot table. ठीक है. I can say pivot table. Slash array functions does the same thing. What else? Leave the charts part. Lookup functions. No, I will treat the lookup functions as a different type of function. Okay. What else? Okay. Functions maybe, let's say, functions में what all type of functions we discussed? We discussed what? ठीक है, अभी ये तुम्हें बाद में बताता हूँ. पहले मेजर टॉपिक्स बताओ मेरे को. उसके बाद you should at least tell me the concepts. What all concepts we have covered till now? Online guys, what all concepts we have covered in Excel? Data validation. What else? Named ranges, ranks, filtering, sorting. Anything else? Freezing? Okay, leave that. That's remove duplicates. Okay. That's the functionality. Concept होता है मेरे को, concept. जैसे lookup function एक concept है. I'm not asking about the functions we use in lookup functions. ठीक है? चलो ठीक है. Till this point we have this. So let's see what all we have in SQL for the same functionality or for the same concepts. ठीक है? So for the formatting, if I want to do the formatting on date and time, okay, specifically date and time, I have the format function for that. Okay. Now functions, if I talk about, most of the functions are same, but there's just the changes in the names over here. What were the type of functions we discussed? Tell me. All of categories of functions. Logical. Logical. What else? Aggregate. What else? Sorry? Text. Yeah, text. What else? Date. What else? Date and time. Let's say. Conditional functions. Number. Any lookup. That's a separate category I've taken. Or let me take lookup functions over here only. Okay. Yeah. This much. So in SQL, these were what were logical functions? And, or, not. These were functions in Excel. Now these are what? Operators in SQL. Okay. Aggregate functions, exactly same. There's no difference. So let me write same. When I talk about the text functions, or I should write same over here. Same. Text functions. So those are same, except there are few differences. Just let me tell you that. Yeah. So the mid function in text is called as substring in SQL. Okay? The find function in text is known as, in Excel, is known as char index. The arguments are exactly same. The functionality is exactly same. It's just that the name has changed. Char index. Okay? Then we have uh, replace. So replace function is known as stuff in SQL, and substitute is known as replace. See, the name has interchanged. Okay? Substitute is replace in SQL. The substitute function in Excel is replace function in SQL. So, yeah. Yeah. So these were just the changes. The functionality is exactly same. The syntax are exactly same. It's just that the name has changed. Okay? So these are differences. Date and time. So we have date and time plus we have some extra functions over here. So I can say date function. We have date add. We have date diff. We have date name, date part. Okay. These are the date functions. Conditional. So we had what was the function in Excel? Conditional function. If or ifs. Here we do not have any such function. So you will be using a statement over here. The statement name is case, when, then, else, and. This is the entire statement. Whenever you want to get the values based on conditions, you'll be using case, when, then, else, and. Or case, you can also call it, or you can call it case when statement. Okay. Number functions, same. Lookup functions. So, okay. What lookup functions used to do? What lookup function does? What was the job of, why we use lookup function? Huh? Find the value of the data. Why are you using lookup functions? You guys haven't revised Excel? To have the entire data in a one single table, whichever the required data is, data consolidation. For that, we have a concept of data combining in SQL, which is joins. Okay, we have data combining with one more concept, joins and append. Or I should say sets. Sets is simply, sets are used for appending. Why we use array function pivot tables? To summarize, right? So if you want to summarize in SQL, you have a group by clause. You will be using group by. If you want data validation, what we have for data validation, what we have in SQL? What do we have in SQL for data validation? Where is for data validation? We have done this part already. Online guys, tell me what concept we are using for data validation in SQL. I have told you this thing. Sorry. Check is a one type of constraint. So concept is what? Constraints. I am putting data validation using not null also. So concept is what? Constraints. Okay, for ranks, we'll be using, yeah, I've written this over here. For ranks, I'll be using a rank window function. Slash window functions, which has other categories also. Right? Filtering, where or having. These two clauses you'll be using for filtering the data. Sorting, order by. See, whatever we have covered in Excel, most of the concepts we are covering in SQL also. But it's just that our analysis is going to be a bit more advanced over here. Okay, for example, we use lookup functions. So it used to just get me a column from the other table, right? Joins will get me the entire table itself. That means all the columns from the second table. Clear? Whatever we have covered in SQL, see, we have summarized this sheet over here, which says ki what all functionality we have in SQL, whatever we have covered in Excel. Okay. Clear? All in guys, clear till this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now back to SQL. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a table using the code file, which I already having, and I will insert the records, and we will understand the syntax of the SQL using that. So this is case study one, which is orders case study. So you will, I will share this file. You will already have this orders table present with you. Okay. What you will see in this, this is a table code is written for the orders table, create table. So like whenever you create any database object to identify what kind of database object it is, you give the suffix or prefix, right? For example, it's a table, so I've given TBL. If it's a view, I will say VW underscore and the name of the view. If it is a stored procedure, I will say SP for the stored procedure underscore and the name of the stored procedure. So it's just the naming convention for my convenience. I'm following that. Okay. So in the orders table, I have the reference number. I have given the data type as char, maximum 14 characters allowed, not null. Is the constraint. Order date, data type, not null constraint. If no value is given, then default value will be this. Okay. Customer name, maximum 50 characters, variable characters, not null. Category, variable characters, maximum 20 characters, not null. Product also. Then sales is numeric. We have seen what is numeric, right? Numeric data type. That is fixed number of decimals till 5 decimal places. Even if you do not have any decimal values, still it will show you 0 5 times after the decimal. Profit is a float. Now I am inserting the values. Okay? What 18? 18 is basically basically it's the precision that they have given, like maximum 18 values you can have in a number. Okay? And among that, you can have till 5 decimal places. Okay. Now what I will do, first thing, what will I do? Copy what? Why I need to copy? Why I need to create the database? I have the database already created. I said I'm going to use your current database. The one I created yesterday. I can say use database name, or I can select from here, which is bootcamp me, and I will execute this. Once I click on this execute, it will execute the entire sheet. Okay? 22 rows affected. Okay? I don't need the sheet anymore. I'll say new query. No, after the class. So I will refresh my bootcamp May database once to have a look at the table. And this is my table order. I'll expand this. If I see at the columns, these are my columns. Okay. Now, working with what is the basic select syntax? If I want to fetch the data, what is the basic select syntax? Select star from what? Let me select the database. Okay, I'll say TBL underscore. So currently it is not showing me the suggestions for the table name, right? Because it is not able to identify the connection till now. So what I will do is syntax table. Let me just save this file. So it will be, let me rename it as functions and save. Okay. Okay. So let me close this session down and reopen this session again. Then it will be able to give me that. So it's over here, functions. So I will say select star from EBL Now it is able to give me the suggestions for the tables. I'll press tab, select, execute. So these are the data I'm having: reference number, order date, customer name, category, product, sales, and profit. Okay. So what star is doing? It is giving me the entire data. Okay. What is subsetting? What is subsetting? Selecting all rows. Then what is star doing? What is the concept of subsetting? Selecting only few columns which are required from the table. Clear? I have explained this thing in Excel also. So I'll just select star. First of all, the first thing I do is I will write my basic query from TBL order, and I will give the alias name to my table. I'll tell you why. As A. Okay? A is the alias name of my table. And now I will say A dot. It will give me the suggestions of all the columns in this particular table. So let's say category and A dot sales. I just want to show these two columns in the output. Done. This is what subsetting, right? See, why I have given alias name is, if I don't give the alias name, what will happen? I can do that. Select star from TBL order, and I'm not giving the alias name. So I have to write the entire table name to get the suggestion. So I will say TBL underscore order dot category, then TBL underscore order dot sales. See, so it just makes it a bit difficult, right, to write the entire table name again and again. Or what you can do is, third thing, select. That's you can simply say select star from TBL order. So see, when I was using the table name or the alias name, I was only getting the suggestions for the columns in that particular table, correct? But if I don't use that, let's say I have to remember the column names. What all columns are present in what table. Okay, so I will say category. Let's say if I say cat, okay, it will show me all the things which are like related to CA, starts from CAT or some pattern is there, right? It will show me concat also, concat with separator, concat function also. So you need to basically check over here which is your column. So this is also one of the way you can do, but here you have to remember your column name. So what do you think? Which one is the efficient way? This one? Or I should say convenient. No, सिर्फ टेबल ऑर्डर का नाम है. अब जो as कीवर्ड है, the as keyword is known as alias. I can say alias, which so that is means giving a nickname. Okay. So I have given a name to the table order, which is A. So instead of writing table order, I am calling it with the nickname A. So I don't have to write the table order, the entire name like this over here, because I have not given any alias name over here. See, I've shown you all, but it is convenient for me. It's very easy for me to just write it in a faster manner. Okay. Okay. Now, yes, in this select query. Okay. This is subsetting. Okay, let me show you filtering also. Basic concept of filtering. What is filtering? Filtering happens at the row level, right? So let's select star from TBL order as A, and let me execute. So what I want to do is I want to just filter the data for the category technology. Okay. So I will say where. Now instead of writing the column name category, I can simply say A dot, and it will show me all the column names in that particular table. Right? I will say category equals to, in single quotes, I will say technology, because even in quotes, single quote, the text SQL is case insensitive. Techno. See, so I have the data only for the tech. This is filtering. Okay. Clear the difference between subsetting and filtering. Filtering happens at the row level, subsetting happens at the column level. Okay. So now we'll start with functions. What all? Okay, let's say first category is number functions. Okay. What all number functions we have seen in Excel? Log, square root, absolute, round, float, ceiling. Right? Okay. So I will say basic query, select star from TBL order as A. Okay. Now I will say, let's say I will say, let's say log. Over here, I'm not able to see the suggestions. What are the arguments of the log? So what you can do is, you can open up a new query and you can write select log and then the bracket. You are able to see the arguments. So simply just a expression you need to give and it returns a float value. Okay. So I will say log of what? Close the bracket, a dot. Obviously, it has to be a continuous column. So sales as log underscore sales. What I have done over here, I have given a name. See, if I don't give this name, okay, I've just written log of sales from this. Done. It is giving me the log of the sales, right? But this column is having no name, right? It is having no name, right? No column name. If I want to give a name to this column, because this is a derived column, so I will give a name using the alias keyword as, let's say, log underscore sales. Okay. Similarly, I can have square root, and I can say, so give comma, then next column a dot sales as square root underscore sales. This is what identifier. I have told you the naming conventions, how to name the identifiers. Log sales. Okay. Similarly, I can have the absolute of, let's say, I should say profit, a dot profit, because profit has negative values, as absolute underscore profit, for example, and round of a dot sales. So let's say I do not know the round function argument. So again, I will over here in a new sheet, I will say round and dot. Expression and precision. You tell how many decimal places you want, right? It will return the integer value. Okay. Function takes integer value. Okay. So I will say this is my expression, and I want to have how many decimal places? Let's say till 2. Round up to 2 as round underscore sales. Then float of a dot sales as float underscore sales. Then ceiling. So in the Excel we had seal, here we have ceiling. So a dot sales as seal underscore sales. Sales यहाँ पे let me include one more column which is a dot sales only. ठीक है? Comma a dot sales. Okay. How many columns I'm having in the output? 1, 3, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, this is log of sales. This is square root of sales. This is absolute value of profit, and this is sales column, actual sales column. Now 2309.65. Okay, so it is rounding up to, not rounding up. I have to take. It is, see, why is it not rounding up? Because the ideally in the sales column I have value till 2 decimal places, and I have written key I want the value till 2 decimal places. So it should be, let's say, if I make it 1, it will make sense. So now it is rounding off. 6 becomes 7 when it is 5, and this keeps this 6 basically being 6 only over here, because the next value is less than 5. So it is rounding up or down based on the next value. Okay. If I say 0, it will make it a integer. Floor, next highest value. Ceiling, next lowest. 2, 3. Sorry. Floor is next lowest value. Seal is next highest value. Okay. So we have seen all these functions in Excel, and this is how you are going to use this in SQL. Clear, everyone, with the number functions? Okay. What was the second category? Aggregate. Okay. What all aggregate functions we have? Sum, count, min, max, average. Okay. So I will say select star from TBL order as a, yeah. We don't have large and small over here. I don't think we don't. Let me check if we have, but I think we don't. Select large. Yeah, we don't. We'll be using some other concept for large and small. Count A, we don't have count A also, I think. Yeah, we don't. See over here, what may happen is in the data is stored in the database. Okay. So in the database, either the column can be a text or numeric, right? So if it is having the text values along with the numbers, so surely the data type is going to be text, right? So count A will count both because the entire column is text count function. So we don't need count A over here in that case. So select star and I will take, let's say, some function. I'll say a dot sales as what name should I give? Total sales, count of okay, I'll explain the count function, but let me take count of star. Okay, star means entire row. Count of star as total count, then min of what is the minimum sales as min underscore sales, max of a dot sales as max underscore sales. Similarly, average of a dot sales, a which is the function over here as average underscore sales. So I cannot give the alias name as average because it's a reserved keyword. I will say average underscore sales. And before from, for the last before from, you won't put comma over here. Okay, done. So this will give me a single value because it is a aggregated function. So this is how you can get the aggregated value. Clear? The third category we have is data pick later. This we won't do it right now. We will see after learning a few concepts. So not now. Number we have done, aggregate we have done, logical are not functions over here. So it doesn't make any sense. Then date and time we will look. Okay, we're left with text. So text. What all text functions we know? Left, right, mid, con, cat. What else? What else? Substitute, replace, find. That's same. Find and search. What else? Length, trim. Yes. Okay. Okay. So let's select star from TPL order as A. So what I want to do is using left function. So what is mid function in SQL? Substring. And replace is what? Stuff. And substitute is what? Replace. And find is what? Their index. Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing is, let's say I'll keep a column a dot customer name, and I want to extract the first name, Rick, Jane, Joseph, Thomas. Okay. So I will say left. You're not able to see the now you're able to see that one. So it's expression. Then expression means what? The text. So here we can't select the cell value in SQL. So you have to give the name of the column. Okay. Excel में क्या होता था? You used to give the reference of a cell. यहाँ पे I will give the column name. What is the column name? Customer name. And number of characters, like from the left hand side, how many characters I want. Okay. So I will say column name is I put a dot customer name. Then number of characters, how much characters? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. But this is static and not even correct because this is just giving the output for the first one. So what should I do? I should find the position of the space over here. So using, let's say, first I write the char index. Okay, char index. If you want to see the argument, because okay, char index, let me say select char index. Search expression and then expression to be searched. तो यहाँ पे first expression में क्या आएगा? Column name. Second expression में क्या आएगा? What expression I want to search. ठीक है? You have an option of starting location, that is char index within a char index. जैसे find within a find होता है starting number, वैसे char index within a char index. Exactly same functionality. So I want to give the text. Let's say it is cust a dot A dot, let me give the comma, A dot customer name, and I will say what I want to find, space. Okay. Done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth is the position of the space. Execute. It is giving me 0. Have I given an extra space? Okay, I think the row it is giving me 0, maybe because this will come at the later stage. Control X. So expression to search and to be searched. So I want to search within this. Let's see. Now check. This is how you can verify. Now it's correct. Fifth. So पहले यहाँ पे आपको क्या देना है कि what you want to, yeah, similarly as find. Say if I say equals to find text. So पहले I will find the text and then in which text. So then give the column name. So I want to find space in this column. Okay. So let me give as space underscore position. Okay. Now instead of 4, can I simply just put this over here? And what else I need to do? -1. Yes. As first underscore name. Because I don't want position of, I don't want space in the left, in the output. This char index is returning me the position of the space. So left function will return me the text till space. I don't want space, so -1. Clear? So this is first name. How can I get the last name? Right? And okay, A dot first name, y plus 1. Now, what should be the logic that I should be applying over here? If I want to get the last name, why do I need to start with space? Sorry? Correct. Total length minus position of space. First, first space. There's only one space. Now there are two words. Are you able to see two spaces? Okay. So then he is having a middle name. Okay. Then he's having a middle name. So what will I do over here? ठीक है, अगर इसमें मिडिल नेम है तो लॉजिक वी कैन अप्लाई ना. See, you have done that question in your case study. You extract the first name, middle name, and last name, right? If middle name is not present, you can put that into the if condition. If the middle name is blank, then what should be the value if true? Then concatenate just first name and last name. If the middle name is not blank, then value false. First name, middle name, and last name. So we are not doing that right now. So let me do one thing. Then instead of this, let me take a column which is a reference number. That will make sense. Okay. Reference number. What I want to do is, in the reference number, I want to extract the, let's say, pin code. The last digit is the pin code. Okay. How can I get that? So I will say write, then a dot reference number. What else now? So length. See, logic remains the same. I'll take the length. Length minus what? Position of second hyphen. Correct? Second hyphen की position कैसे find करेंगे? Char index within a char index, find within a find. So I will say char index. Okay. Okay. I want to search for what? I want to search for hyphen in what? A dot reference number. Okay. Now starting position, char index again. And I will say hyphen and a dot reference number. And this char index will return me the first hyphen position. I need to skip it so that the outer char index can find the second hyphen position. Okay, +1. And I will say as set underscore hyphen underscore position. ठीक है. Done. So let's see if this is working fine or not. So it is giving me 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is correct. Okay. Now I want to extract the pin code. Let's say. So I will say what logic I have applied. I will take the length and subtract second hyphen. Okay. So I will take the length. So length alien and this length of what? A dot. A dot. Is it not giving me? अच्छा यहाँ पे नहीं आया. Reference number minus this entire thing as pin code, let's say. Okay. Let me execute. It's correct now. Or you can even test it like if you need to subtract something else. So total length will be what? If I want to check what is the total length of this, I can simply say select star from TBL order and select star from TBL order. Let's say as A, and I can say length of A dot reference number. Okay. To check if there are no extra characters. Okay. 14. So what is the position of second hyphen 8? Right. So 14 minus 8 is how much? 6. Now let's check key how many such characters are there in the pin code. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's absolutely correct. Okay. This is how you can verify. Okay. So we have seen left function, right function. Now let's check. I want to extract 2012 year column from this. I have given just to make you understand. This is how I have calculated the position of second hyphen. Correct. नहीं दे सकते. You have to give the till now. You have to give the formula everywhere. Okay. No naming required. So naming सिर्फ columns के लिए है. You cannot use the names anywhere. You can just give the names. Okay. Done. Now let's check the year. How can I extract the year? Substring mid function. Okay, let's check what are the arguments of substring. Select, I will say substring and expression starting position. So expression में क्या आएगा? Expression starting position and length. Length is number of characters. So expression में आएगा column name. So it will be A dot reference number. Starting position will be what? First hyphen की position plus 1. Right? What is the position of first hyphen? This char index. So I can say simply paste first hyphen की position plus 1. Then how many characters from it? 4. I can simply write this also. This will give me the output. But if you want to make it dynamic, you can simply do what? Second position hyphen subtract first position hyphen first hyphen position minus 1. What is the position of second hyphen? 8. 8 minus 3, 5. Minus 1, 4. What the formula? So I will say second hyphen position is this. Control, or not this one. Yeah, this one. Control C. So this is second hyphen position minus first hyphen की position. So first hyphen की position is this. Control C. Subtract minus 1. So I have extracted here correctly. So I can give the name as year underscore. Okay? That's the name I can give. Clear? With the left, right, mid, or should I say substring and char index? Any doubt? Anyone over here? It has to be the entire column. Guys, any query online? So same as in Excel, what we did. If I want to calculate the 2012. Extract 2012. So in the number of characters, what I will do? Second hyphen position minus first hyphen position. So that's what I have done using char index, right? And so what is the second hyphen key position? 8. First hyphen position is 3. 8 minus 3 is how much? 5. But how many characters I want? 4. So minus 1. 4. And that's what I have done. So I have just copy pasted this char index because it is giving me what? Second hyphen position. And this char index is giving me what? First hyphen position. So I'm saying this char index minus this char index and minus 1. Same logic. So the logic is exactly same, whatever I have applied in Excel. Exactly same. Just the name of the function has changed over here. This was regarding, yeah.
वो जो हमने सेकंड हाइफन वाला दिया जो आपने लेंथ फंक्शन यूज किया मतलब अगर मैं पहले की सेकंड हाइफन की पोजीशन क्योंकि पैटर्न तो सेम ही है ना वो पिन कोड का हाइफन ना नंबर हाइफन तो मैं अगर पहले अगर सेकंड हाइफन की पोजीशन कैलकुलेट करके प्लस वन कर लूं फिर तो लेंथ फंक्शन की जरूरत नहीं कहां से आए
then mid function na you have to use mid function for that. That's a different concept then.
हां चार इंडेक्स यूज करने को बता सकते हैं
ठीक है. Okay, so text left, right, substring, and char index done. Okay. Then we have seen trim is also in the similar manner. Trim and give the column name. It will remove the extra spaces. Okay. Now left with substitute, that is replace, and stuff, which is replaces stuff. So I will say, let's say select star from TBL order as A. So what I want to do, let's say if I say replace, okay? So let me just take over here A dot reference number. A dot reference number, and I will say replace. Okay? Replace. So let's see the syntax of the replace. So I will say replace expression to be searched and search expression replacement expression. Okay? So I will give the expression to be searched. So I want to search for what? I want to search for what? CA. And I want to replace CA with, let's say, 4 times X. No, sorry. What is expression to be searched? So यहाँ पे वो आएगा ना, A dot reference number, and I want to search for what? CA, and I want to replace it with. Okay, let's check if this works or not. Perfectly fine, right? So I should say as replace underscore. Okay. Now this is replace. If I do substitute, which is stuff. Sorry, replace. If I do replace, which is what? Stuff. Replace में Excel में क्या होता था? We used to have starting number, position. Here the stuff has that argument, starting number. So if I check over here the argument, so I will say stuff. Expression to be searched, starting position number and number of characters to replace and the replacement value. Right? So I will say A dot reference number. Let's say starting position is 1, number of characters to replace is 2, and replace them with 4 times X as stuff underscore replace. See. So stuff will do what? If you are sure, if you want to replace all the state codes, so you will be using what? Stuff, which is replacing Excel, right? If you want to just replace a particular state code, so you'll be using replace, which is substitute in Excel. Clear? Because when I use replace, it is not replacing US because I'm giving a particular value to it. If you are sure about a particular value to be replaced, you will use the replace function in SQL. If you are sure about the position to be replaced, then you'll be using stuff. Okay? Clear with replace and stuff? Then we have concat. Concat it simply, so simply you can select star from TBL order as A, and I can say concat. Okay? If you want to see the argument, you can simply click over here, concat. Okay, expression. Okay? Just need the give expression. So let's say I want to give A dot. I want to let a category and then hyphen and then I want to give a dot product. Okay, so it will concatenate these two as cat underscore crop is the name I'm giving. So it will concatenate these two columns. What is that? This is what concat function is doing. I'm concatenating. So this is my expression 1, expression 2, expression 3. Okay, column names. So with this, we are done with the text functions. Let me know any doubt in the text function section. Anyone? Which one? Stuff. Stuff is same as what? ये argument Excel में positions कौन सा function लेता था? Starting position, number of characters. कौन सा function लेता था? This is replacing. So replace function होता था ना Excel में. Exactly same argument है, बस नाम change है. Char index क्या है? Find है Excel में. ठीक है? Any other query from the online guys? Any query in the text functions part? Or I'm giving the names because ये column names हैं. We are not using till now because we haven't covered other things. You need to know where you need to use it. You cannot use it everywhere. Okay? There are certain rules for that. So we'll discuss that. But yeah, online guys, let me know any queries in the text functions. Can anyone please respond me from the online? No? Okay. Then the last category we are seeing at is date and time. Okay? Or date functions, let's say. Date, time, or date functions, date and time. Okay. So if I say select, and if I say get date, okay? And if I execute this, see, I do not have to use from over here because I'm not getting the data from any table. Okay? So I'm saying select get date, and this function takes no input. It is giving you what? Date and time. So what function gives you date and time in Excel? Now function. Okay. As date time. Understood. I'm giving the name to the column. Okay. Okay, now let's understand the date functions. So what I will do is I will say select. Do we have a date function? No, we don't have as such a date function. You have to use this get date only. Okay. System date is the system's date. System date time. Same as get date. Okay. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to extract year, month, and day from this. Okay. So I will say select, and I can simply say year of any date. If you have, I'm taking get date for now. Okay. As year underscore. So if I do this, I'm getting the year column. Similarly, I can extract the month. That's my first column. I can say month function and get date function inside it as month underscore and day function get date. So when I'm using get date, you can use any date column over here instead of that. Okay. So instead of get date, let me over here I'm okay. Let it be get date as day underscore. Okay. So I can just select start from TBL order as A, and I have a date column over here which is order date. So I can say A dot order date, and I can calculate these. So simply I can say year of A dot order date as year underscore month of A dot order date column or date column as and day of day dot order date as day underscore. Okay, from this table, because now I'm referencing the column from a table. Done. Extracted. Okay. Let's say if we have weekday or something like that. So if I say weekday, there's no such function. Okay. So we have only year, month, and day function. Now let's explore the other functions. So let's explore date name. Okay. So if I say select star from TBL order as A and let it be A dot order date, comma, and I'm saying date name. Now let's see the arguments of date name. So if I say date name,
आशीष शायद है वीकडे का फंक्शन, मतलब मैंने भी अभी सर्च ही किया है, उसमें तो दिखा रहा है.
giving you the output. Yeah, maybe weekday, maybe that. Let's say.
Yeah. Weekday number for it.
Function नहीं है. Function नहीं है. See, it is not a recognized built-in function name. It can be an argument to the date name or date part function, but not a inbuilt function. Okay. So let's see what are the arguments we have in the date name. Interval, day, month, year, weekday, week. These are the intervals. Date column, and it will returns the nvarchar. Okay. Basically text, whatever the output is. So let's say if I say interval, so let me say year, right? And so if I say just y, these all are the options I'm getting. Okay. So a lot of options over here. So I'm saying year and a dot order date as year underscore. Then simply I can just copy this and paste it. I can make it month and as month underscore comma day. So you have weekday, day of year, which day of year it is. That option you are also having over here. Okay. So I will say as day underscore, then control V. If I say weekday, so यहाँ पे you have a weekday option as weekday underscore from this. Okay. So if I execute this, see what is happening over here in date name. Okay. What is happening over here in date name? We are getting month and weekday as the text, right? Full name of the month and full name of the weekday in the date name. If you want to explore other options, you can also do that. So let's say if I just select this one, in terms of what? You do not have a weekday function in built in SQL. So if you want to extract weekday, you have to make use of date name or date part. Yes. If you want to get the month in the form of a text, then also you have to use date name, because this will return you month in the form of numeric value. Okay. So you have a lot more options over here if you explore.
जो इन्होंने बता रखा है ना, जो मैंने अभी देखा वीकडे के लिए, वो है जैसे कि जो आप डेट दे रहे हो वो वीकडे में कौन सा डे पड़ेगा, लाइक वो न्यूमेरिक वाली चीज हो गई. जो आप बता रहे हो वो डे वाला है कि ये दिन पड़ेगा, तो ये डिफरेंस है दोनों में बस.
When I'm executing that function, weekday will take main argument. So let's select you wrote something like weekday, and you give the date, right? So let's say today's date, which is 5/28/5/28/2024. Lot of it is not a function only. It's not a function. It's an argument. A date. And also explore the other arguments over here. So let's say if I just remove these. And instead of year, if I take y, so that means simply just one y. And let's say year, let's see what we get. What it is giving me? 213.
213.
I take double y, then it is giving me correct. If I double y, triple times y, 4 times y. There's no triple times y. There are only 4 times y. And triple time 4 times is same. If I write y once. If I say dy, then what it is giving me? So a lot of options available over here. Same. So dy, day of year, and single y is giving you the same thing. Date name, day of year. Day of year. And if you write single y, that will also give you the same. So multiple options are basically giving you the same results. So day of exactly same. Okay? So like this, you have a lot of options which you can explore in date name. So even you have a weekday of the year, like which week of the year it is going on, that can also be extracted. Okay, okay guys, clear with the date name? Similarly, you have a date part. So I'll just select start from TBL order as A. And see, now you understand how efficient it is for me when I give the alias name to the tables. So I will say A dot uh, order date and let's say date part. So if I understand the argument of the date part, interval, same arguments, right? Let's see the difference. Difference kya hai? So I need to give the interval as, let's say I want to give the interval as year. So whatever option date name is having, date part is also having the same arguments. Okay, interval. So comma, then I need to give the date, a dot order date as year underscore comma. Let me just copy this, paste it over here, and instead of date name, I'll just make it date part and execute. What is the difference between date name and date part? It is giving you the month and weekday numbers. Date name is giving you the month and weekday in text. That is full name of the weekday and the month. Clear? So that is the only difference. If you want to have a numeric value, you can go with the date part. If you want to have a text value, you can go with the date name. That is the only difference between the two. Guys, clear till this point? Online guys?
Yes.
Okay. So now one more function we have is date add. Okay. So if you remember, we did exercise in conditional formatting. If the conditional functions, if the category is seafood or wine and beer, then delay the date by delivery by 5 days, otherwise by 1 day. So we used to offset the dates in Excel by adding plus or minus. Here we will use the date add function for that. Okay. So I will say select. If you add something to a date, it won't work. So I'll say date add, and I am taking, okay, let me select a dot or select star basic query first, TBL order as A, and a dot order date from date add. Let's see the arguments of the date add function. Interval, day, month, or year, right? Or weekday or quarter, whatever that is. Increment, whether you want to go into the future or into the past, right? Like if I take today's date, if I say select interval mid day, and if I say -1, it will return me yesterday's date. If I say month and I say -1, it will return me previous month of the date. Okay? So let's see that in the functions. If I say date add, and so I want to have, let's say day, and increment is -1, which column? A dot order date. Order date. And let me name it as previous underscore day.
तो वो डेट के आगे बैठने
Date के आगे क्या है?
फिर वो आपने वो स्लैश करके
I thought it is on my screen. That's why I was cleaning it. Okay. Then execute. So see, I'm getting which date? Previous date, right? If I'll add 1 only, it will give me the next date. Similarly, you can have the previous month, or you can have the, if you say -2, it will give you the 2 days previous date. Okay? Let me just copy this thing. If I say month, -1, and as years, as previous week. So if you check over here, this is my previous day, correct? 31, 30. Current month is 7th, previous month is 6th. Current year is 12, previous year is 11, because I've subtracted -1 in the year, right? Current week is which one? Like whatever the current week is. So it remains the same because of that Saturday, Sunday thing. Okay? Somewhere it might be changing. So
सही है ना सर
yeah, it is correct, I know, but somewhere it might be changing.
तो मोस्टली
Yeah.
एक दिन आगे ही आता है
Yeah, see this one. अच्छा ये सही है ना? Previous week 13th, it is 27.
तो एक दिन में आना तो बनता है
It is 2, it is 28, 10, 14. So it will give me more clarity if I just, yeah, that's what I'm seeing over here. 06. Ideally, it should reflect this on the 15, 16. I have taken weekday. So weekdays from 1 to 7. It should not be weekday. It should be week. Okay. Now let's check. Yeah. So it's 31, 24, 14, 7, 28, 21. Now it's correct. It is giving me a previous week date. Okay. Make sense? Everyone? With the date at function? -360. With like if that exists, because I think the initial year, starting year in SQL is 1119. I don't know, it is 70 or 71. Yes, you can do. Or let's say let me make -365. You're saying. So from 2012, we have went to 2011, and yeah, 08, first day of 8th month. Clear? Yeah, because of that 30, 31 days wala thing.
2020
Okay, 2012 was a leap year. Okay. 29, 28 days wala scene ho gaya. 725, 617. Yeah, in 12 only it is happening. Let me just make it minus. Yeah. Okay. Next function we have is date diff. So if I want to take the difference between the two dates, I'll be using a date diff function for that. So I'll say select date diff. Let's understand the arguments: interval, starting date, and end date. Okay. Interval is, let's say, day. So like how you want to take the difference? Do you want to take the difference in days, months, or year, or week? Right? Starting date. So let's say starting date is 5th slash, let me, do we have a date function? Let me see if I have a date function over here. No date function is there. So we'll do one thing. We will use date diff on the later stage. Okay? Before that, we'll have to cover one concept of the data, how to change the data types. So I will give a text date, I will convert it to a date data type, and then I will use the date diff function. Clear? Yes, I can. I can.
Date diff explain करना है एक बार दोबारा.
Sorry,
Date diff बताना. एक बार दोबारा से.
Sparsh, I'm not understanding the question.
Date diff I'm asking. Can you explain it once again?
The date diff, I haven't explained it. I'm saying
नहीं मतलब वो जो आपने brief बताया था ना एक बार.
it takes the difference between the two dates. So two date columns you can say. Okay, so let me take this. And let me get date over here. So it will be a lot of difference. So again, same thing I'm taking. And I'm saying I'm offsetting by, let's say, 10 days. Okay? Close as date underscore diff. And I'm saying from TBL order. Okay. Okay. Alias name, I have to give the alias name because I've used this A dot. See, I mean, it's basically a single date for which it is returning you that. But it is returning you 22 rows because my order date is having 22 rows. Why it is giving you 11, guys? Every time the difference is 11. Why? Huh? Problem is I'm using date add function, right? So if any date I take, usme I'm taking the previous day, and on that date only I'm taking the next 10th date, right? So the difference is obviously is going to be same for each and every date, right? This is just to explain you, it gives you the difference between two dates. So it is giving the difference in days. If you want in year, you can change the interval to year. If you want it in week, you can change the interval to week. But I will cover it on the later stage once I am done with the changing data types. Okay? Everyone clear with the overview of the date diff? Okay. Date add. Yeah. So nothing. This is my, let's say, so if I have today's date, okay? So let's say A dot order date is my today's date, which is 28th May. If I subtract, I am saying my interval is day, take a day, and I'm saying subtract 1 from it, 1 day, 27th. If I say add 10 days, then next month it will be some date of next month. That is 10 days from 28th onwards. So it is adding or subtracting the days, months, or year or weekday. Okay. Okay. So okay, guys. Let's have a break, and everyone be back by 11:22. Okay, guys. So let's say changing data types, how I am going to change the data types. Okay. Let's particularly talk about date only over here. Okay, date. So there are two functions which you'll be using to change the data type. One is cast and the other one is convert. Okay. So guys, please settle down. So let's talk about date only over here. Okay. If I talk about date, so I will say, let's just select. So what are the formats I have for the date? Just tell me the formats like MDY, DMY, YMD. What else? DMY. What else?
MDY,
MDY. What else?
DG,
YM, DY, DYM. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more.
YDM,
YDM,
MYD.
MYD. Okay. Then 6. These are the 6 date formats we have. Yeah. Okay. This is YMD, which is the default SQL date format. Okay. So whenever you convert the text date to any date data type, it will be converted to the default SQL date format. Okay. So let's say there's a select. If I say select, ठीक है, YMD है ना, इसको ऐसे रखते हैं. Now if I say select and if I take a text date, ठीक है, text date be what's the format? YMD. So let's say today's date 2024 /5/28. This is my date. Now I am trying to extract year from it. Let me just copy this and paste it over here. And execute that. I am able to extract year, right? This is the default SQL date format. So even if I write the date in default SQL date format, it is automatically picking it up as a date. Okay, this is what YMD. Okay, let's try. Now let's try my system date format, which is MDY. System. Mine is MDY. Okay. So again, I will just select 5/28/2024 as a system format, date format, year, and let me just copy this and paste it. Year underscore, sorry. Wait. Let's see. I'm able to extract year. That means it's a date format, right? So two things, whatever format my system is having, that one, and the default SQL format will be your date format. Let's check other formats now. Let's say MDY. MDY we have seen, no? DMY. Okay, so I'll just select and let the date be 28/5/2024. Okay. Let me take the year of this. Copy, paste as here. What is the error? Conversion failed when converting date or time from character string. Not picking it up as a date. Okay. Now here. So that's giving me errors. Understood till this point? Okay. Now this is one thing. It will return error. The other thing is, let's say I am giving the format of the date as YDM. Okay, and my date is select 2024 and D/day is 2 and month is 3. As if I extract month from it, because my day is not greater than 12. So let's see what month it will give me as month.
2, I think.
Month 12. Yeah. What is giving me month as 12? Oh, yeah. Why? So it is giving me the default SQL date format of the month. So I have taken 2 as day, but it is returning me that as a month. It is incorrect. Right? Just imagine that these dates are what? Text, right? So if whether they are text or not, you have to. Why it's incorrect? Okay, I have given, let's say, for my understanding, I have passed the date in the format of year, day, and month. Okay, and if I extract month, it is returning me the day because it is less than equals to 12. That is why it's incorrect. It should return me 3. Okay, so for these we need data type conversion functions, which are cast and convert. Okay, when talking about the data type, we will work with only convert. Convert specifically for date data type. Yeah, Vidhi, you can leave. Yeah. So convert. Then if I say cast, okay. So now understand, cast you can use for to convert other data types, to change or to convert to other data types like integer, char, varchar. Integer, char, varchar, like that. Okay. Whatever the data types are. Why I said key convert should be specifically used for data type. Let's say an example. So let's say if I'm using cast. cast function. So you have to give, let's say you have to give the column name as, and then you have to use the keyword as, and then you have to give the data type. Okay, this is the syntax. So if I say select, okay, and if I take this date ymd, and I'm saying cast. Currently, I'm not having any column, so I'm using the date. Okay, date value, this value as date. And these are data types, so I'm saying date, done. Okay. Okay. What I'm getting? It was of which format? YMD, and SQL returns YMD format by default after conversion. So the format will be the same, and it is converted into date data type. Okay. Okay. I'll use another. Let's say. So if I use MYD, month, day, year. Okay. So which is, where do we have month, day, year? This one. And if I say cast of this date as date, it is of MDY, it should return me YMD. So it's correct. YMD, day is correct, 28, correct? Okay. That means system ka format and the default it is taking correctly and it is converting. Let's say if I take another date format, any other date format, which is DMY. Okay. So in this case, even if it is converting, it will return me what? Incorrect month. Okay. DMY. It is not, it is saying it is a string. So it is not, it is a text value. So not able to extract it. Okay. So let me use a DMY. बता रहा हूँ ना अभी, एक सेकंड. Select cast of this as date. ठीक है. And if I execute this, what will I get? Error. That is for accept the system date format and the default date format of SQL. If I'm taking other date formats, either it is returning me incorrect date, like month को day return कर रहा है, day को month return कर रहा है अगर less than 12 है, या फिर it is returning me error. It is not converting it. So that is why I told you कि we are not using cast function for the date data type specifically. Date data type के लिए specifically कौन सा function use करेंगे? Convert. Why? I'll tell you that. ठीक है? Okay. So now let's talk about the convert function. So select convert. Okay. It is saying target type. Target type means what? Data type. So data type is what? Date. Now column name. So let me give this because it is failed to convert this one. Let me give this. Okay. Now it is saying third argument is, let me show you the third argument. Select convert. Third argument is date style. That is what is the input date format. What is the format of the date which you are giving as input? Not the format which you want in the output. The format which you are giving as input. Right? So here you don't write MMDDY, right? You give a number. So for that, you have to search for that. This is my, what's my format? It is DMY, right? Day, month, year. Okay. So let me go to this Google and I'm writing SQL server date styles. Okay. And let me click on this Microsoft site and check the table. So this is the table. If your format of date is this, in this format, then you will use the number input as input date format. If it is of this format, you will be using 1. If it is of this format, you will be using, that is, अगर without century है तो 1, with century है तो, sorry, with century, सिर्फ only century है तो 1, और full year है तो 101. But it is no slash. Dot के लिए अलग है. Slash, अब ये format change हो गया. MDY था ये कौन सा हो गया? DMY with slash. ये हो गया DMY with dot, ये DMY with hyphen. So for that, the formats are defined. ठीक है? हमारा कौन सा format है? DMY, right? So let me show them. DMY, this one, 103. Input date format. So I'll come back and I will write 103. So when I write 103 over here, that means I'm defining which value of the date is month, which value of the date is year, and which value of the date is day. Done. So when I convert this, it will return me what? YMD. Y में 2024 आएगा, M में 5 आएगा और D में क्या आएगा? 28 आएगा. Execute. See YMD. ठीक है? Even if I change 28 to 2, Still, it is correctly picking up the day, month, and year. So then we can format. I'll come to that, but this is clear how you are going to convert your date data type. Okay, so specifically for date, you will be using the convert function, because in cast function, you don't have an option where you can give the input date format. So let me write the syntax of convert also. Convert. And in convert, I will have data type, date column, and date input format or input date format. That's a third argument, which is compulsory over here in convert. Now clear why I'm not using cast function to change the data type of a date. For all of the, see, you can use convert function as well for to change the data types. Cast and convert to convert function to convert to other data types like int, char, var, आप इन दोनों में से कोई भी यूज कर सकते हैं, ठीक है? So in that case, for other data types,
Sir, 101, 102 with the number to convert. Interview में क्या पूछ सकते हैं?
like that even Google. You don't need to learn. For other data types like except date, you can use both. So convert का यहाँ पे the syntax will be data type, like what data type you want to change to, and then column name. That's it. No third argument in that case. Clear? Okay. So let's say select star from table order as A. I have this sales, which is what? Of numeric data type. So let's select A dot sales, and I will convert this into. So when whatever I'm writing inside the select statement, that's a temporary change, not permanent change. Okay? Read only change. So I will say यहाँ पे cast of A dot sales as float. अभी क्या है data type? Numeric as sales underscore float. ठीक है? I can do the same thing using convert also. Convert float. Target type is float, and expression is A dot sales as
Your cost.
these are just the names to understand what I have done. See, I can use any of the function to change other data types. If I want to change it to varchar, I can also do that. So I can say again convert or cast. So cast, let's say A dot sales as varchar, max characters can be 10. Basically, I'm converting into a text as sales. Okay. So it is now text. So if I try to apply some operation on top of it, it will return me error. Same thing. Okay, cast is this, right? यहाँ पे नहीं आएगा ना, यहाँ पे आएगा. So it's an aggregate function. So यहाँ पे I have to put hyphen. यहाँ पे भी hyphen. यहाँ पे भी hyphen. I'll tell you later why I have done this. What is the error? Varchar is invalid for some operator. Okay. So for like if your sales column is of varchar data type, for each select query you have to use cast function, because this change is limited to this query only. Okay.
Cast या convert में multiple conditions.
एक वेरिएबल को मल्टीपल कंडीशंस कैसे दे सकता है? डेटा टाइप चेंज हो रहा है ना यहाँ पे, तो एक ही वेरिएबल रहेगा, वन एट अ टाइम.
नहीं मतलब हमें अगर सिमिलरी वैल्यू सबमिट की
नहीं, वन वेरिएबल एट अ टाइम. Yes, you can use any of the one, but for date specifically you have to use convert. Guys, clear how to change data types in Excel? Sorry, SQL. Excel maybe have used some functions, value to text, number value. Here we are using cast and convert to do the same thing. So coming to your question, how I can get back the format, right? Formatting in SQL on dates. So use the format function and done. So if I tell you this thing, let me see. Okay. So this is if you're writing HH, capital HH, it means it's a 24-hour clock format. If you're writing small HH, it is 12-hour clock format. Small mm means minutes, small ss means seconds. Double TT means TT twice is AM PM you're defining. And if you say these are same as in Excel month for the month lekin. And small yy is for the year. Okay. So if I apply format, so what is giving me this in the output? YMD wala format. I want it in the DMY wala format. So I will say format. If I show you value to format, so I've given the format input and the format type, comma, and in quotes I will say, let's say it has to be, so it is DD hyphen, let's say, then capital MM, small mm gives me minutes, so capital MM, and then YYY. Okay, let's see what it gives me. Is the format changed now? Okay. Clear? So these are the format you can use to change if you want to change the format. Format is what? Just changing the appearance. Actual value is still the same. If I write capital YY over here, see what will happen. What will happen? It will show me capital Y only because there is no such format or no such reserved alphabet. I have written format is case sensitive, and you are passing the format. Bye. Okay. Clear everyone till this point? Yes or no? Okay. Let me save this. So with this, we are done with the functions part. Any query regarding the functions? Format what? नथिंग यहाँ से पिक कर लो वैल्यूज, ठीक है. अगर आप कैपिटल एच एच लिख रहे हो तो वो टाइम शो करेगा 24 आवर क्लॉक. अगर आप स्मॉल एच एच लिख रहे हो तो 12 आवर क्लॉक शो करेगा. इफ यू वांट टू शो मिनट्स यू हैव टू राइट स्मॉल एम एम. इफ यू वांट टू शो सेकंड्स यू हैव टू राइट स्मॉल एस एस. अगर आपको एम पी एम शो करना है टाइम में यू हैव टू राइट टी टी, ठीक है, ट्वाइस टी, दैट इन लोअर केस. And these are same as, if you want to show the day, then you don't have to write capital D. You have to write lowercase t, small d. If you want to show month, then capital M. And if you want to show year, then small y. So I've written it over here. I've pasted this. Guys, okay? Online guys, clear till this point? Then we are done with functions. Now let's do a case study. So this is the same case study, table orders. We'll be solving some questions on this. But before solving these questions, let's understand few things. Okay. So we have seen basic syntax of SQL. Okay. What's the basic syntax of SQL? It's select, start from, and then table name. Right? Okay. This is the first syntax, or should I say syntax of SQL? This is the first syntax we have. The second type of syntax, this is the basic one. Okay. Second type of syntax we have is first. So this is how you are going to write a query. Okay. Syntax. So select के बाद you will write, select obviously what you want to select. After that from, then table name. Then if you want to do filtering on the raw data, then where, that is filtering on the unaggregated data. If you want to summarize after that, then you have to use group by. Then if you want to do filtering on the aggregated data, then you have to use having. After that, if you want to do the sorting, you have to use order by. Now, this is the exact order in which you are going to write your SQL query. For example, you cannot write from before select. This is going to be the order of writing the query. Okay. So let's say if you have written from, but you can write group by if there is no where. But if you have written where, it has to come before group by. Okay. Simply, let's say you just want to do the sorting. So these things not required, let's say. So you can simply write after from, you can write order by only if you have not written these after order by. So these will come before order by only. Okay. So this is going to be the order in which you are going to write a SQL query. Select from, where, group by, having, order by. Select what? Where? Yeah, so after where, yes. So if you want to fetch the data, you will write star after select, no? Or I should say in select. Okay. So let's understand what each of these keywords do. Okay. If I say select, what select does? Displays select. In select, you will write those column names which you want to display in the output. Okay. So select is for what? What you want to display. Select का काम सिर्फ इतना है कि it will just display what you want to display in the output. Okay. It is not performing any calculation. It is just fetching the values. But what you want to display in the output. So whatever you want to display in the output, that will come in the select. Or whatever you want to display in the output, that will be select. When I say from, to fetch the data, you will be saying, you will be using from. Where? To filter on the unaggregated data / raw data. When you want to perform filtering on the unaggregated data or the raw data, you'll be using where? Group by, to summarize the data. Having, to filter on the aggregated data. Order by, sorting, for sorting in ascending or descending order. You'll be using order by. Okay. Now understand this. Okay, now understand this key. What do you need to over here? When I say aggregated data and unaggregated data, what do I mean by that? Okay. If there is a requirement that I want to filter before group by, so I will use where. If I want to filter after group by, I will use having, because group by क्या कर रहा है? Data summarize कर रहा है ना? It is giving me the aggregated value. जैसे array functions क्या करते हैं? Summarize करते हैं. Pivot table क्या करती है? Summarize करती है. That means अगर आपने group by use किया है and after that you want to filter, so you will be using having. Okay, if there's a requirement before filtering before group by, so you'll be using where. Okay. Example can be, let's say मेरे को सिर्फ India का let's say if I want to calculate the total sales for each states in India, so first I will use where to filter the data for the India, and then I will use group by to summarize my data, right? But if I'm telling you what is which states have the total sales greater than, let's say 50,000. So first I don't need to for India, let's say, right? So I will use where to filter for the India data for the India. Then I will summarize my data using group by. I will get the total sales for each state. Then I need to filter on the aggregated data, summarized data. I should write summarized data. So I will have the total value for each of the state, total sales. Now I will use having, which states having total sales greater than 50,000 to filter the summarized data. No, they are different. Where is used to filter the unaggregated data, or I should say raw data or unsummarized. So that means it has to be used before group by. Having is aggregated data or summarized data. You will understand when we will be using this. But this is the overview. Okay? Clear? And filtering happens at the row level. Subsetting happens at the column level. Everyone clear till this point? This is SQL of SQL query. This is one thing you need to remember. The other thing is execution in the backend. Okay? This is how you're going to write it in the exact manner. But how it is executed in the backend, this is helpful in removing the errors. Okay? What do you think? सबसे पहले कौन सा clause execute होगा? इन सब में से सबसे पहले कौन सा clause execute होगा? From, because first we will fetch the data from. ठीक है. उसके बाद data fetch हो गया. What is the next thing I will do? Filtering. Correct. If required, I will do what? Filtering on the raw data. After that, I will summarize my data. So I will say group by. After that, having, I will filter on the aggregated data. Having. After that, no order by, select. After that, what you want to display in the output, that is executed. Select statement का execution बाद में होता है in the backend. After select statement, the order by is executed. ठीक है? And after order by, you can say top is executed. Not top, distinct, and distinct, then top. ठीक है? This is the order. So these are the keywords. You can basically ignore these two for now. ठीक है? Now you were telling me, asking me a question कि why I'm not able to use the alias name, correct? अब just understand, select किन क्लोज के बाद में एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है, इन सबके फ्रॉम वेयर ग्रुप बाय हैविंग, करेक्ट? ठीक है, लेकिन सेलेक्ट से पहले क्या एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है? फ्रॉम, मतलब जो सेलेक्ट है वो फ्रॉम के बाद एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है ना. तो जब मैं एलियस नेम, व्हेन आई एम गिविंग द एलियस नेम टू द टेबल्स, आई एम एबल टू यूज दोस एलियस नेम्स इन द सेलेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. Right? There's a reason for that, because select statement is executed after from, not before from. That means that alias name is defined when select is executed. आया समझ में? When I am saying over here, select star from TBL order as a, so from पहले from execute होगा, so that means कि I have defined the alias name for this table. So उसके बाद select execute हो रहा है ना. So when I say a dot, it is giving me the column names in that particular table. I am able to use the alias name because from is executed before select. ठीक है? And that is the reason कि I am able to use alias name of table in where group by having select order by distinct top in everywhere the table alias name, because from सबसे पहले execute होता है तो alias name define हो जाता है. ठीक है. Second thing, whatever I'm writing in select, the column names, giving the column names, right, to the derived columns, I cannot use those alias name over here inside from where group by having. Why? Because these are, जब तक वो define होते हैं column names, तो वो select में define होते हैं, and select is executed after from where group by having. So that means कि I can use alias name in the order by only in the order by clause. Remember? ठीक है? I can only use the alias name where of the select column of the column names in the order by. ये वाला क्लियर है कि from में alias name कैसे लेते हैं, क्यों execute होता है? ठीक है. So let's say I am giving this column as cat. Alias name दे दिया मैंने, category column के alias name दिया, right? So when can I say where cat equals to technology? ठीक है? If I execute this, invalid column name cat, alias name is invalid. Why? If you see the hierarchy in the backend, the order in the backend, जो where है वो select से पहले execute हो रहा है, तो that means जो column name है वो तो बाद में define हो रहा है ना, पहले तो define नहीं हो रहा है. That is why जो alias name है columns का, वो हम कहाँ पे यूज कर सकते हैं? सिर्फ order by में. ठीक है? सेलेक्ट के जो कॉलम नेम्स हैं, जो कॉलम नेम्स हम डेराइव करते हैं सेलेक्ट स्टेटमेंट में, दैट कैन बी ओनली रिटन इन द ऑर्डर बाय, बिकॉज दीज आर एग्जीक्यूटेड बिफोर सेलेक्ट. दिस इज हाउ इट इज एग्जीक्यूटिंग इन द बैकएंड, एंड दिस इज द क्वेरी इन द ऑर्डर इन विच यू आर गोइंग टू राइट इट. दिस इज द ऑर्डर ऑफ राइटिंग द क्वेरी, सिंटैक्स ऑर्डर. इसमें कोई भी किसी से कोई भी क्लॉज किसी से पहले आ गया, इस ऑर्डर में नहीं है, तो एरर रिटर्न करेगा. दिस इज टू राइट द क्वेरी. दिस इज जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि व्हाई यू आर गेटिंग द एरर्स. ठीक है? इफ यू गेट एनी एरर, so this is to understand कि how to rectify that error, how it is executed in the backend. Okay, so I have to use what? I can use alias name over here of the table because from is executed before where. So these two things should be by heart. What is the select query syntax and how is it executed in the backend? Make sense, everyone? Okay. Now let's see some questions. Would camp may tables order table. The first thing that I will do is I will write the basic query. ठीक है? सबसे पहला स्टेप क्या होगा? Basic query. You don't have to write the entire query in a single go. Question is saying list all orders in ascending or descending order of sales. ठीक है? So let me get the data from orders table. So I will say select star from TBL order as a. If I execute this, done. What is the question saying? I need to display all the orders in ascending or descending order of sales. So what I have to do? What? Order by. Because see, I do not have to do filtering, so I don't have to use where. Summarize भी नहीं करना है तो group by भी use नहीं करना. फिर समराइज नहीं किया तो एग्रीगेटेड फिल्टरिंग भी नहीं होगी, राइट? एंड देन सेलेक्ट तो हो ही गया, सॉरी। सो हैविंग के बाद क्या आएगा सिंटेक्स में? ऑर्डर बाय। सो आई कैन राइट डायरेक्टली ऑर्डर बाय आफ्टर फ्रॉम। ऑर्डर बाय व्हाट? A dot sales, where in ascending or descending order. So by default it is ascending order. If you don't write anything, it is, see, sales are in ascending order. If you don't write anything, by default it is ascending order. Or what you can do is you can even write ASC. That's the same thing, same output. Okay, by default it is ascending. If you want to sort this in descending order, DESC. Done. So now it is in descending order of sales. Okay. Okay. Now it is saying list all orders. So which columns I need to display? Well, read the question very carefully. Okay. As per the question, you need to give the output. It is saying list all orders. So what columns I need to display? Which table is it? Which table is it? Orders table. So all orders means I need to display the order details, right? So order details is what? All the columns. Yes or no? This is the order table. I need to display the order details. So that means the entire table I need to display. Correct? So I will say just star. अगर यहाँ पे कुछ specific column बोला होता तो then you would have gone for a subsetting part. Clear everyone with question 1? ठीक है. Question 2. Display only unique records from the order table. Unique records. That means all the records which are unique. How many records are there? 22. Let's see how many unique records are there. So I will say select basic query सबसे पहले star from TBL order as A. Now what? I can say distinct. Distinct keyword will be used in the select statement only. Okay? Distinct star. Distinct star means what? It will check the entire row, whether the entire row is unique or not. If there is a row which is exact replica of any of the row, it will remove that. Okay? So 22 rows, if I execute 20 rows. So 2 rows were duplicate. So this distinct is working as, see, this distinct is working as, let's say I have values 1 as remove duplicates in Excel. So if I say 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, okay? If I talk about a column perspective, how many distinct values will be there? Total number of values are 5. How many distinct? 4, because 3 is twice. So it will take 3 only once. Clear? So yes, we can, but not right now. I have to cover other clauses also for that. You would understand the logic then. Okay. We will find out which row is appearing is basically repeating how many times. Okay. So वहाँ पे summarization का concept आएगा. हाँ. Okay. So guys, clear with the distinct concept? Any doubt with distinct part?
डिस्टिंक्शन जो डिस्टिंक्ट यूनिक रिकॉर्ड्स फाइंड करने के लिए वो कोई पर्टिकुलर कॉलम्स के लिए भी कर सकते हैं कि
Yes,
ओवरऑल
we can do for the columns also.
ओके
So if I say distinct star, it will return me what? Only distinct rows. It will check for the entire row. If the entire row is exact copy of the particular row, then it will be removed. It will be counted only once. Okay. I can also say select star from TBL order as A. And let's say if I take A dot category. How many categories are there? Technology, furniture, office supplies. 3. I want to, if I just do this, what will happen? It will give me how many rows? 3 rows. 22 rows. कॉलम है ना, मैंने यहाँ पे डिस्टिंक्ट अप्लाई किया है कॉलम पे नहीं. इफ आई से डिस्टिंक्ट how many categories I will get in the output? 3. All the unique categories, correct? 3. यहाँ पे I was checking the distinction at the row level and यहाँ पे I'm checking the distinction at the column level. This is one thing. Let's say if I do this. So say this is same as distinct function is working same as remove duplicates in Excel. If I say A dot product. Now how many records I will get in the output, or what it will return me? It will return me what? It will return me unique combination of these two. Unique combination. Okay? That is, it will check for these two columns. In those columns, there are values which are repeating again and again. Let's say A category, A1, and 1 is the subcategory. So A1, A1, or B1, like that. So it won't remove one from, it won't give one once, right? So it will say this is one box, this is the other box. यहाँ पे I will take A1 once, and यहाँ से I will take B1. So there are 2 rows in such. ठीक है? अलग अलग नहीं कर रहा. It is taking the unique combination. It is taking the combination first and then removing the duplicate combinations. It is first checking the combination and then removing the duplicate combinations. For example, let's say I have a table. So I have a furniture category. यहाँ पे this is category, this is subcategory. ठीक है? यहाँ पे I have table. Again furniture category, I have chair. Then I have accessory category, and here I have TV. And accessory category, I have TV again. So how many rows I will get? 1, 2, 3. I will get only 3 rows because this combination is repetitive. Category repeat होगी. Category repeat. See what you are saying is, यहाँ मैं जब फर्नीचर, जब मैं सिर्फ कैटेगरी पे अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ, अगर सिर्फ कैटेगरी पे पहले अप्लाई हो रहा है तो इट विल जस्ट रिटर्न मी 3 रोज. यहाँ पे कैटेगरी रिपीट होगी ना, क्योंकि इट इज टेकिंग द कॉम्बिनेशन. लेट मी शो यू. ठीक है? इफ यू चेक ओवर हियर, माय कैटेगरी इज रेपिटेटिव because I am taking the distinction on the combination now. अगर मैं कैटेगरी सेलेक्ट में नहीं लिखूंगा तो इट विल जस्ट रिटर्न मी यूनिक प्रोडक्ट्स. सेम डेटा कैसे होगा? फॉर एग्जांपल, मतलब दैट इज कोइंसिडेंटली 8 रोज, बट यहाँ पे कैटेगरी तो रिपीट हो रही है ना. दैट इज द पॉइंट. ये कॉम्बिनेशन यूनिक है. इट इज नॉट रिस्पेक्टिव टू अ पर्टिकुलर कॉलम. जैसे स्टार यूज कर रहा हूँ तो इट इज टेकिंग द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल दी कॉलम्स. दैट इज रो लेवल. यहाँ पे आई एम टेकिंग द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ 2 कॉलम्स. अगर मैं फर्दर कोई कॉलम ऐड करता हूँ तो इट विल टेक द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ दैट मेनी नंबर ऑफ कॉलम्स. सो इट इज ट्राइंग टू आइडेंटिफाई द रिकॉर्ड एज यूनिक. So this is one row now. It is taking unique combination. It is first combining, taking the combination and then checking the unique. Guys, clear with question 2? Let me put it in. Yeah. Online guys, clear with question 2?
Sir, could you please repeat a distinct option once again?
Which query?
Starting one.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. What it is doing is, it is taking the it is giving the unique rows. Okay? So when I say unique rows, it is taking the combination of all the columns. That means if there is a row, which is, let's say, if there is a row 1, okay? If there is another row which is exactly same as row 1, मतलब profit भी same है, sales भी same है, सब कुछ same है, so it is considered as a duplicate row. So then it will only return one row in such case after removing the duplicate rows. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So guys, be sure, like it depends on the question or the analysis, कि you will apply distinct on the row or on combination of column or on a single column. Depends on the question. Okay? You have to understand that. Okay, next question. Which orders are giving loss to the company? Select start from TBL order. That's a basic query. Now, which concept I will apply over here? Tell me the concept name. Filtering. Correct? और filtering किस पे कर रहे हैं? Filtering कौन से डेटा पे कर रहे हैं? Raw data, unsummarized data, unaggregated data, right? So I will use which clause? Where कब आएगा from के बाद? So where a dot profit is what? Less than 0. So 20 rows. I should go with distinct star over here because I have two duplicate rows, right? So I should have unique data because rows are duplicate. Okay, so I should show distinct and done. Okay, so these are the orders. And it is saying orders, so that means I need to go with star order details and filtering. So all the profits are less than 0 over here. So these are the orders these are the orders which are giving loss to the company. Okay. Okay. Which are the orders that belong to the technology category? What concept? Where clause? Filtering on the aggregated data or non-summarized data. So where category a dot category. I need to display the order details. So star equals to what? Technology. So these are the orders that belong to the tech category. I should go with distinct star. There are 11 rows. Let me go with distinct star and check whether do we have duplicate rows. Yeah, I'll come to that. There are 10 rows. पहले कितनी थी 11. तो एक रो डुप्लीकेट थी यहाँ पे. Yeah, coming to your question. Why I'm using A over here? Where कब execute होता है बैकएंड में? So मैंने टेबल का alias name कहाँ पे डिफाइन किया? From के अंदर. So I can use alias name everywhere which I've defined in from. Anywhere I can use in these clauses. जो मैं from में alias name define कर रहा हूँ tables के, I can use it inside where? Group by, having, select. Because order by. Because all these are executed after from. अगर मैं select में कोई alias name define कर रहा हूँ, तो I cannot use it inside having, group by, where or from. Because column names. So column names. We'll come to that. Yeah, column names. ठीक है? तो select में अगर मैं alias name define कर रहा हूँ, that is before from, तो वो सिर्फ order by में ही दे सकते हैं. Now, are there any orders from technology category where the products were sold at loss? So select star from TBL order as A. Okay. Now, which two columns or which columns I need to filter? Category में tech and profit. यहाँ पे tech and profit should be right. So I should go with operators, logical operators. Which one? Or key and because these two conditions need to happen simultaneously at the same time. Both the condition needs to be satisfied. This or and wala logical functions things we have discussed this in much detail in Excel. When to take and when to take or. So I will say मेरे को orders display करना तो I will say star. Let me say distinct star because duplicates है ना, duplicate rows है. So where unsummarized data पे unaggregated data पे filtering करनी है a dot category equals to technology and a dot profit less than 0. So there is only one order where the category is technology and the profit is less than 0. Clear? Question 5. Okay. Is everyone clear till question 5? Any doubt? Anyone? From में टेबल नेम को देते हैं alias name. अभी तक सिर्फ इतना समझो कि फ्रॉम में टेबल नेम को alias name दे रहे हैं, सिलेक्ट में कॉलम जो हम कॉलम डेराइव कर रहे हैं उनको alias name दे रहे हैं. ठीक है? Online guys, any query till question 5? Anyone? Guys? Guys, tell me, clear or not at this point? Okay. Now, which are the orders where tables, phones, and appliances are sold? So let's understand the select star from TBL order as A. And if I execute this, okay, which column? Product column. In a single categorical column, I have multiple conditions, right? So will I use and or will I use or? Or because if I use and, what will happen? It will always be false and it won't return me anything in the output. So I will say where a dot product equals to tables and a dot product equals to क्या हो गया सॉरी और आएगा a dot product equals to phones or a dot product equals to appliances. Distinct because duplicate rows and data. So these are the orders where the orders of tables, phones, and appliances product. Clear? Okay. This is one of the way to do it. Now let's understand some things over here, which are types of operators. The first one we have is a single valued operator. And the second one we have is multi-valued operator. When I say single valued, it means there's only a single value on the right hand side to compare with. Okay. What are the examples of single valued operator? Greater than equals to, less than equals to, not equals to. Because we always have a single value on the right hand side, greater than equals to 25, less than equals to 10, not equals to 5, or equals to product, not equals to appliances, like this. So these are single valued operators. Okay. There can be multiple values on the right hand side to be compared with. For example, I have multiple. So over here, if I have a categorical variable and continuous var. If I talk about the single multi-value. If I have a categorical var, then I'll be using which operator? In operator. In is a multi-valued operator. If I have continuous var or variable, I'll be using between. Okay. And between के साथ हमेशा between and are used together. Between के साथ कभी और use नहीं होगा. It will be always and. It is like in traditional method, greater than equals to and less than equals to. So that is, we are replacing that with between. Clear? Multi-valued operator, if you have multiple conditions in a categorical variable, you'll be using in operator. And if you have like if you want to get the sales between 2000 and 3000, you'll be using between. For example, let's say sales where sales between 200 and 300. And here we have where it will be, let's say, product in, and in a bracket in the parenthesis, I will give the list of values. So this in operator works with or condition, okay, at the backend. So I can say phones, comma, appliances, etc. Like I can come, instead of writing equals to again and again, I can give a list of values inside the parenthesis. Okay, back to this. Okay, now tell me. So I can simply say where a dot product, same thing. I can do this long query in a very short method. I can say in, because this is a categorical variable having multiple conditions with or condition. I will say tables, comma, phones, comma, appliances. Yeah. And I'll get the same output. Here. Okay. 7th question. List all orders excluding tables product. That is I just don't want tables. So select distinct star, same query, I can copy paste, and I can say what? Not equals to what? Tables. So it will show me all the records except tables. So I am not able to see tables in the product. There are 18 rows. Okay. If I have multiple products to ignore, what will I use? In will filter the multiple products, not in. Okay. Let's say in this case also I can go with not in. So I can say this and not in, and in the parenthesis I can give tables. Distinct I'm using because मेरे यहाँ पे records duplicate हैं. अगर आपके record duplicate नहीं है तो you don't have to use distinct. Yes. Why would I show the necessary data in my report? This is my report. Analysis only. All these questions are what? Analysis. So why would I show duplicate data in my analysis or duplicate rows? Okay. It is there in the actual data, that's okay. But for my for the reports that I'll be creating, these are my reports, the outputs. So these should not have duplicates. Done. 18 rows, same output, not in tables. If you have multiple categories to ignore, you can give comma and the other categories. Okay. This is question 7. Question 8. So let me read the basic query at least. Select star from PBL order as A. For which of the orders company has gained profit by selling tables, phones, and appliances? Which columns are required? Profit and product. And what should be the condition in the product column? And or and what should be the condition over here? Less than 0. Profit बोला है. Greater than 0. Greater than 0. And I can between these two, what will be the condition? And clear? ठीक है. तो इस और के लिए I can use what? In and then profit greater than 0. Okay. So I will say where a dot product in, and let me just copy this thing. After that, I will use what? And a dot profit greater than 0. Distinct. 5 rows. So these are the records where the product is either table, either phone, or either appliance, and the profit is greater than 0. Okay. List all order details where the sales are between 3,000 and 5,000. So this is my basic query. I'm picking it up. Tell me the traditional method. What will I say? If I have a single categorical, single continuous column, and if I have multiple conditions in that, what will I use? If I have a single continuous column and I have a multiple conditions inside that, what will I use? Or and. अब और किस सिनेरियो में यूज होगा? I can say कि either the sale is less than 2,000 or greater than 3,000. मतलब बीच का जो गैप, बीच में कुछ वैल्यूज हैं, that should not be in the range. Correct? In that case, I will use what? Or. But if I am saying मेरे को बीच वाली वैल्यूज चाहिए between any two values, I will use what? And. These should be included and I want the values in between. Because if I use or over here, let's say any value, let's say 2,500. If I say 2,500 is great, sales greater than 2,500 or sales less than, sorry, my bad. Sales greater than, if the value is 2,500, if I say sales greater than 2,000 or sales less than 3,000, in either of the case, if I use or, one of the condition is going to be true. या तो 22, if I'm saying कि ये जो है 2,000 से या तो greater होनी चाहिए या 3,000 से कम होनी चाहिए, राइट? तो कोई वैल्यू है, लेट्स से अगर मैं कोई भी वैल्यू ले लेता हूं मैं यहाँ पे, तो एक तो कंडीशन यहाँ पे सेटिस्फाई होगी ना हमेशा. So let me take another example in that case. Let me say if there is a value 5, ठीक है? I am saying कि check whether this 5 is what I can say. I can check, let's say, is 2 greater than 5? 2 greater than 5. 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 2 is to greater than 5 or is to less than 5. A कंडीशन तो हमेशा ट्रू होगी ना यहाँ पे, right? Because a particular value is going to be always greater or less than a particular value. So it will be or, right? So in that case, I'll be using and between के case में. So I will say where a dot sales बोला profit sales greater than equals to what? 3000 and a dot sales less than equals to 5000. So I have 8 rows. If you want to make this look a bit easy, you will use between. So I will say between what? 2000 and between के साथ and use होगा हमेशा and sorry 3000 and 5000. ठीक है, same output. 8 rows we will get over here. 8 rows. Clear with question 9? Question 10. How can you use between for categorical? That's not a categorical variable. Continuous. Sum or count. If you are even taking account of a categorical variable, that ultimately derived column is what? Continuous. In over here. Why it should be or? Let's say if I have a value in mind, ठीक है? I am saying अगर मैं यहाँ पे और use करता हूँ, if I have a value in mind between these two, ठीक है? So I am saying the value is 7000. ठीक है? So is 7000 greater than 3000? True. Is 7000 with or condition I'm telling you, ठीक है? Is 7000 less than 5000? False. अब or condition में in or function one of the condition has to be true for the output to be true. So what is the result output? Resultant output is what? True. So ये तो यहाँ पे गलत हो गया ना? So what I have to use? And. ठीक है? Okay. Question 10. List orders which are placed by customers. Which are placed by customers where customer names. अभी तक हमें क्या कह रहे हैं? Orders list करना है तो I'm showing the entire record. ठीक है? I need to show just those customers जिनका name J से start होता है. So we have done this in conditional formatting. Wildcard begins with, ends with, contains. Even in filtering also, text filtering begins with, ends with, contains. Correct? So if you want to use wildcard in SQL, you have to use like operator. Okay? So I will say select, let me use this distinct star. Again, I have to do filtering only on the raw data. So where a dot, which column? Customer name, and I will say like. Okay? Now I will give my pattern. Okay? I will say, up in Excel, what we had as a wildcard operator or wildcard value. Excel we had question mark, right? Question mark represented what? Single character. Asterisk represented what? 0 or more characters. Here we have underscore. Underscore, that means single character. For single character, you will be using underscore. For then your percent for 0 or more characters. You will be using percent. Clear? Now tell me, what will I write over here? Customer name starts with J. What should I write? If I just write J, what will happen? It will work exactly like equals to, right? I am saying the name should start with J. After that, it doesn't matter how many characters are there. So I will use percent. Execute. Oh, what happened? Yeah, now it's correct. I have just selected this one. Okay, so you can see here all the customer names starts with J. Clear? List orders which are placed by customers where the customer name starts with J or T. So the customer name starts with J, right? What should I write over here? And or? Or either the starting character should be J or T. So a dot custom name like T percent. So it will give me the customer names whose name either starts with J or T. With T we have Thomas and Tom. Okay? Or what I can do is to give or conditions. I can use square brackets. So I can say like square bracket JT. I have written this at the first position. That means the first character should be either J or T. If you want or condition, you have to write that those characters inside the square bracket. Okay? And after that, any number of characters, it doesn't matter to me. The first character should be J or T. So at the first position, I have written the square bracket, and inside square bracket, I have mentioned the characters which should be searched for the with the or condition, either J or T. Execute. 6. Same output. Clear? परसेंटेज यूज ना करें तो इसका मतलब ये है कि या तो फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर जे होना चाहिए या टी होना चाहिए और नाम में सिर्फ एक ही कैरेक्टर होगा, वो इक्वल्स टू की तरह काम करेगा ना फिर कि सिर्फ इफ आई से दिस इट वोंट रिटर्न मी एनीथिंग. ये कह रहा है कि सिर्फ जो फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर सिर्फ एक ही कैरेक्टर होना चाहिए कस्टमर नेम में इक्वल्स टू. ठीक है गाइस, क्लियर विद दी पार्ट? Only for the text. Yes, wildcard mapping. Whenever you want to define a pattern to search any value, so you remember search function like operator. Percentage by default means what? Now you have to mention it. Otherwise, it will be equals to J. Okay. List orders which are placed by customers where the customer name starts with J or T and ends with T. ट्रेडिशनल मेथड से करेंगे विदाउट स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट तो कैसे होगा? ठीक है, ऊपर वाला मैं कॉपी कर लेता हूँ. कस्टमर नेम स्टार्ट्स विद J और T. और क्या करूं मैं यहाँ पे? So I can do this and I can say add a dot customer name like what should I write? Percentage T. That is, the last character should be D. Doesn't matter number of characters before that. Yeah, we will use that. So this is one way. I've used bracket, not. Okay. Execute. Okay, there's only one customer, or I can do what I can say. This only. Just copy, paste, and I can say either the customer name should start with J and end with T, any number of characters in between them, or the customer name should start with T and end with T. So यहाँ पे और condition आएगी. It will also give you the same output, one row. ठीक है? Or you can simply say customer name either starts with J or T and ends with D. Any number of characters between them doesn't matter. So this will also give you the same output. There are different ways of doing the same thing. It depends कि you're saying contains, right? So contains का क्या pattern बनेगा guys? Contains का क्या pattern बनेगा यहाँ पे? Percentage J percentage. That means कि J can be present either at the start, in between, or at the end. Doesn't matter.
किसी केस में अगर J starts with
you just want to search for the Boland. So this Boland should be together somewhere. So if I say Boland, so it will search for that particular text. मतलब वो जो collective word है, collective characters है, वो साथ में होने चाहिए, या तो start में, या बीच में कहीं पे, या end में. So let me just make it check. That contains. If you say begins with, it is J percentage. If you say ends with, it is percentage J. Clear with the C part?
सर लेकिन किसी केस में J ends with something else or T ends with something else, then
so you can give your or conditions along with that. No, you can give multiple patterns with the or condition.
Okay, so we can do this begins with this or ends with this, and then वो वाला scenario है ना.
I have shown you all the three ways over here.
Okay.
Clear? C part. D part. एंड के लिए डायरेक्टली लिख सकते, वो बाय डिफॉल्ट एंड ही है ना वो तो। Orders where characters at second and third position of customer name are is a are. जो सेकंड कैरेक्टर है वो ए होना चाहिए, जो थर्ड कैरेक्टर है वो आर होना चाहिए। फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर कुछ भी हो, इट डजंट मैटर, एंड आफ्टर दैट सेकंड और थर्ड कैरेक्टर ए आर होना चाहिए, और उसके बाद कोई भी कैरेक्टर्स हो, इट डजंट मैटर टू मी। दैट मींस फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर एंड फ्रॉम फोर्थ पोजीशन कितने भी कैरेक्टर्स हो, डजंट मैटर। सो व्हाट विल बी द पैटर्न? Underscore, that means any first character, second character should be A, third character should be R, and any number of characters after that. Done. So there are only 3 orders. Well, see, and you can see all the customer names at the second and third position, they have AR. Okay, ठीक है. If I want कि those customers who do not have, let's say ये वाला कर लेते हैं ना. If I want those customers whose name does not start with J, let me add a question over here. Customers cust name does not start with J. What should I write? Does not start with J. If I say J%, that will give me what? Start with J. I want doesn't start with J. So I can say cap, that means not starts with, doesn't start with J, not J. ठीक है, ये पैटर्न नहीं होना चाहिए. So there's no such, नहीं आ रहा ना ऐसे. One second. If I use this inside the square brackets, it's cute. So there is no customer whose name starts with J. So this is how you can see, or what you can do is, so you, for the not part, you can use cap. Okay? You can say not like J%. मतलब ये पैटर्न नहीं होना चाहिए, बाकी कोई भी पैटर्न चलेगा. और टेक्स्ट वैल्यूज विच आर डिफाइंड, यहाँ पे पैटर्न सर्च करते हैं. ठीक है, सो पैटर्न मैपिंग के लिए वाइल्ड कार्ड ऑपरेटर विच इज लाइक और नॉट लाइक. क्लियर गाइस विद दिस पार्ट? एवरीवन ओके? ऑनलाइन गाइस क्लियर टिल दिस पॉइंट? क्वेश्चन 11, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question 12. Which are the top 5 orders in terms of sales amount? So let's understand the approach. ठीक है, I understand कि मेरे पास डेटा है जिसमें डुप्लीकेट्स है. पहला स्टेप होगा कि मैं डुप्लीकेट रोज रिमूव करूँ. ठीक है, अगर डुप्लीकेट्स हैं तो सेलेक्ट, लेट मी कॉपी दैट. ओके, सो 22 रोज थी. आई हैव नाउ ऑल द यूनिक रोज. ठीक है, उसके बाद I need to have top 5 orders in terms of sales amount. Orders means what? Order details यहाँ पे. So I need to have everything in terms of sales amount. That means कि जो मेरे सारे orders चाहिए ना, तो orders के हिसाब से तो if I tell you कि these many till over here, ये जो combination है वो unique है ना. So I don't need to summarize the data. इसका मतलब तो यही है, क्योंकि सारे रिकॉर्ड तो यूनिक है, डुप्लीकेट तो रिमूव कर दिए मैंने. सो आई विल डू व्हाट, यहाँ पे टॉप 5 ऑर्डर्स चाहिए ना, कैसे आएगा? ऑर्डर बाय, करेक्ट. पहले मैं सॉर्टिंग करूंगा. ऑर्डर बाय व्हाट? सेल्स, ए डॉट सेल्स. इन विच ऑर्डर? डिसेंडिंग. सो दिस विल सॉर्ट द डेटा इन डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर. सेल्स इज इन डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर नाउ. ठीक है, सो वी हैव अ टॉप कीवर्ड टू फेच द टॉप रोज. ठीक है, वी डू नॉट हैव एनी बॉटम कीवर्ड. कोई बॉटम कीवर्ड नहीं है, सिर्फ टॉप कीवर्ड है. अगर आपको बॉटम 5 ऑर्डर्स चाहिए तो कैसे करोगे? सेल्स को असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में सॉर्ट कर दो एंड गेट टॉप 5. तो टॉप 5 क्या करता है? सिर्फ टॉप के टॉप रिकॉर्ड्स फेच करता है. टॉप रिकॉर्ड्स मींस द रिकॉर्ड्स व्हिच आर एट द टॉप. इट डजंट मैटर whether those records have the lowest value or the highest value. ठीक है, वो सिर्फ नंबर ऑफ रोज फेच करता है टॉप की. वी आर मेकिंग इट टॉप और बॉटम बेस्ड ऑन द यूजिंग द ऑर्डर बाय. So if I write top 5 before the distinct, it is saying incorrect syntax near the keyword distinct. मैंने क्या कहा था? Distinct पहले आएगा top से ना. So I will say distinct top 5 star. That means top 5 rows. So क्या हो रहा है? अगर मैं इसको अंडरस्टैंड करूं कि बैकएंड में कैसे एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है. पहले मैंने डेटा फेच किया, then मैंने क्या किया? Then I removed the distinct. Basically I removed the duplicates. उसके बाद I sorted the data in descending order, and then from that I got the top 5 rows. Clear? टॉप 5 का सिर्फ मतलब इतना है, ये जो आप इंडेक्सिंग देख रहे हो ना, इसके बेसिस पे वो रोज फेच करता है. वो टॉप 5 है, बॉटम 5 है, वो ऑर्डर बाय क्लॉज डिसाइड करता है कि आप असेंडिंग ऑर्डर में सॉर्ट कर रहे हो तो वो बॉटम 5 है, अगर डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर में सॉर्ट कर रहे हो तो टॉप 5 है. क्लियर एवरीवन? सॉरी,
तो मतलब नेसेसरी है क्या टॉप टॉप कीवर्ड को यूज करना?
यस, अदरवाइज हाउ विल यू गेट द टॉप 5 रिकॉर्ड्स? टॉप 5 ऑर्डर्स बोला है ना, तो टॉप 5 रिकॉर्ड्स चाहिए होंगे. अब देखो बैकएंड में क्या हो रहा है. सबसे पहले तो आई एम फेचिंग द डेटा, देन आई एम डिस्प्लेइंग द डेटा, उसके बाद आई एम सॉर्टिंग इट इन डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर, सॉरी रिमूविंग द डुप्लीकेट्स, sorry my bad, getting the data, displaying it, sorting it in descending order, removing the duplicates, and then fetching the top 5 rows. ठीक है? Okay. Question 13. Which are the bottom 5 orders in terms of profits? ये वाली क्वेरी सेम की सेम रहेगी. क्या करूँ अब मैं? Order by what? Sales.
सेल्स को प्रॉफिट पे रिप्लेस कर दो.
Profit. In which order? Ascending. By default it is ascending, or I can write ASC also. So now it will return me what? Bottom 5 orders in terms of profit. See, all the values are negative. These are my bottom 5 orders. Clear? Okay. B part of question 13. Which are the bottom 25% orders in terms of profits? So if you remember how percentage work in case of filtering and in case of conditional formatting based on the number of rows, right? यहाँ पे भी same scenario है. So I will say select distinct star from table order as A. क्या करूँगा मैं? Bottom 25% बोला है. Order by A dot profit. यहाँ पे by default it is ascending. ठीक है. Let me execute this. मेरे पास कितनी रोज है? नंबर ऑफ रोज कितनी है? 20 है. 20 रोज का 25% कितनी रोज हुई? 5. So I will get the bottom 5 rows and those 5 rows. ठीक है? So I will do what यहाँ पे? I will say distinct. Then there's no bottom keyword. So top 25 and I will write %. ठीक है? Star. Star means top. So bottom 25% of the rows I want. Orders. Done. See, I've got the bottom 5 rows. So ideally these two are same thing only. Clear? Guys, clear? Online guys, clear till question 13?
It's clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question number 14. You don't have to do anything over here. Just give the alias names. How can I give the alias names? So I'll just select star from TBL order as A, and then I can give the alias name. So I can say A dot reference number as, that is how you want to display your column names. Reference number or reference number. ठीक है? Comma A dot order date as order date. A dot product, A dot category, ये तो सही है. A dot product, ये भी सही है. A dot custom name as customer underscore name. A dot sales, A dot profit. Yeah, you can keep the sales also. ठीक है? No issue with that. कहाँ पे है भाई? Profit. Let me give it as sales amount. Sales amount. ठीक है? Profit. That. यहाँ पे कॉमा आएगा. So if you see, the names are now changed only for this query. Temporary changes. So this is what alias names are. This one, nothing, just I've given nicknames. Whatever names I want to give to the columns, I can give it using the as keyword. I am saying change reference number, ref number as reference number. It is giving जैसे कि it is giving an example. जैसे it is customer name, so name the customer name as customer name. So I'm renaming it, which is temporary. So kind of giving a nickname. Okay, question 14 done. Question 15, get all records where profit is missing. So we have null is null. So can I say select star from TBL order as a where profit equals to null? Can I do this? Why I can't do this? Here if I do this, it will, agar null is a missing value, so it won't be filtered. In this case, what I am doing, I am filtering a text. If null is present as a text, it will be filtered. But agar null text nahi hai, if a blank column is showing as a null, तो उसको filter नहीं करेगा. So what you can do is, you have to write what? You have to say where profit is null. If you want to, so kindly, I have no blank value or no null value in the profit column. Okay. If you want all records where the profit is not missing, what will you do? Get all records where the profit is not missing. What will you do? You will simply say is not null. Clear? Okay. यहाँ पे रिक्वायर्ड नहीं है. अगर आपका सेल्स, अब जब आप डेटा इंपोर्ट कर रहे हो, इफ योर सेल्स कॉलम इज ऑफ var cap, तो देन यू विल बी यूजिंग कास्ट फंक्शन. फिर उसके ऊपर आप सम फंक्शन अप्लाई करोगे. ठीक है. ओके, सो व्हाट विल आई डू इज आई विल स्टॉप फॉर टुडे. ठीक है. So yeah, I'll stop for today. Any queries till this point? Anyone? No? Okay. So we will be discovering other clauses. So we have discovered which ones? Select, from, where, order by. We are left with group by and having. Okay. We will see group by and having on Thursday. Other with this, other advanced concepts like joins and sets on Thursday. Okay, along with the case studies.